Hey y'all, welcome to CreepyQuills booktube channel. I'm Jenna and this is Skeleton Steve, and today we're going to be doing a book warehouse book haul. But before we get to the haul, I just want to explain I have been gone for a few months and I don't want y'all to think that I was lazy or just disinterested in booktube. I actually read a good book and then I DNF'd a book, which I hardly ever do, but sometimes it's necessary. But then the DNF god decided to smite me. I got the flu, went to urgent care for the flu, and she stuck that Q-tip pretty far up my nose. It actually hurt. So by reflex, I kind of pushed her hand away, and she got mad. And she was like, I'm just trying to get a sample. And I'm thinking, no, I think you're trying to perfect your mummification skills. And you don't do it with a long Q-tip, right, Steve? Yeah, that's not the tool you use. So, and then shortly afterward, I got bronchitis. Went to the doctor for bronchitis, and they're like, your blood pressure is extremely high. They put me on medicine, and I'm like, well, I am a mummification survivor, so there's that. But then afterward, you know, when you're recovering from getting that sick, I lost the fire to read. I wasn't in a book slump. I wanted to read. I just didn't know what I wanted to read. And then the book gods luckily smiled upon me, and I got an ad on my Instagram for a book warehouse sale. They open 1 to 2 times a month, and their books. I had never heard of a book warehouse sale, so I was like, okay, I'm down. I live kind of in the country in a small town, so I had to go to the big city, y'all. Steve's mad because he wanted to go and I wouldn't let him. You're not going to the city. I don't know how people will react to you. It didn't work out well for King Kong. Alright, so let's get to this book haul. So first up, I don't know if you know this about me, but I actually love the original series Star Trek. I love Spock and Kirk. And I got number 8 and number 10. These are 70s vintage classics, and they're in really good condition, except for somebody wrote on the side, but whatever. And these are 6 collected stories in each of these of their adventures on the Enterprise. And let's see, this one, Spock goes insane in one of them, which I'm curious to read about. And on this one, you get to visit a planet where every day is Halloween. Oh my gosh, can I move there? Thumbs up if you want to come with me. And then I found 2 Fear Street books by R.L. Stine. This one is Heart of the Hunter. The Full Moon Summons the Beast. It's about a boy in a wolf's body. So that one looks pretty cool. And this is about 2 girls fighting over a boy. Yeah, go figure, that never happens. And one of them is going to take it a little bit too far. If she can't have him, no one can. Well, that's not a very good attitude. And then I got Ruined, a novel by Paula Morris. This is actually on my wish list. It was recommended to me on Amazon. I like the cover. It is a YA horror. And it's about a girl who moves to a town, and the prep school girls are not being nice to her, but then she befriends a ghost girl. Oh my god. So this next one, does anybody recognize this dog? So there was this show called Wishbone that I used to watch when I was little, and it's about a dog who loves to read, and I'm an animal lover, so especially my favorite animal is the wolf, but you know, I love dogs too. But he would dress up as a character that he was talking about, and but I remember one of the cutest ones was when he dressed up as Sherlock Holmes. So cute. But it's the Wishbone Mysteries, The Haunted Clubhouse by Caroline Leavitt. This is Goosebumps, R.L. Stine, Egg Monsters from Mars. I think I read all the Goosebumps when I was little, but I don't recognize this cover. So I don't know if I ever did read this one. And it's about a boy who goes on like an egg hunt, but one of his eggs has like blue and purple veins, and it is starting to hatch. So what's gonna pop out of there? And then if you like Goosebumps, you might recognize these. These are the Fright Time books, and they don't have an author, but it is like a collection of stories. I would rate them like G, if I remember right. They're for kids. They're not gonna be too crazy or anything, but this is number 7 and number 11. But this is 5 Elements, The Emerald Tablet by Dan Jolly. 5 Elements, 4 Friends, 1 City, and its Sinister Shadow. I'm going to read the inside. I name myself water, I name myself air, I name myself earth, I name myself fire. Who else thought of Captain Planet? That's the main reason I picked it up. I started singing Captain Planet, He's a hero. I picked up, you had to get these 3 together. They were bundled up. This is the Ghost Girl series by Tanya Hurley. Now, I have a young niece who, there's a running joke in the family that my sister gave birth to my kid. She looks a lot like me, she loves to read, and she loves Halloween. So I'm looking to read more books that I think when she gets older, I could re-gift her. This sounds like a really cute tween series. But it was also a cover by, like, those are adorable. And it has silver gilded pages. I don't want to read the synopsis for those because I believe those are the sequels. This is the first one. And the back says, "Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. And if I should die before I wake, I pray the popular attend my wake." That sounds, it sounds like also, hopefully, that there's like a lesson to be learned here too. But Charlotte Usher feels practically invisible at school. And then one day she really is. Even worse, she's dead. And all because of a guy and a gummy bear. How do you die by gummy bear? She probably tried to shove a bunch in her mouth to impress a boy, because I guess that's what they do these days. So up next, I got a novel of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is by Diana Gallagher, Obsidian Fate. And it's in really good condition. I've never read a novel from Buffy. I love that show. So I had to pick it up. That looks Aztec. And I believe this is about them battling an Aztec god. So that sounds. And then I got Meg. I love the catch. If you see her glow, it's too late. This is by Steve Alton. And I know this is about like they said it's like Jaws meets Jurassic Park. And I picked up this one, The Ninja by Eric von Lustbader. So a couple of years ago, you never know what you're going to crave when it comes to reading. I had to know where I really wanted to read something with martial arts in it. And luckily, I had like one book in my library that did have martial arts. And it was really good. So now that I've read that one, and I want to read the sequels too, because that was good, I wanted to pick up something else that had martial arts in it. And then I got Neanderthal, Their Time Has Come by John Darton. This sounds like an archaeological horror. A Harvard archaeologist discovers something extraordinary. He sends a cryptic message to 2 colleagues, but then he disappears. This is Douglas Preston and Lincoln Child. I've heard of these authors, but I don't think I've ever read anything by them. So I got Brimstone, and I love that cover. And then I don't know, have y'all ever heard of the Templar Knights? I've never read a book about them, but I've always been interested in that story. This is The Last Templar, Raymond Corey. So yes, I am a horror reader, but no, I have never read Anne Rice. Part of it is that, from my understanding, a lot of her books are chronicles, and I prefer standalones. That's what I like about a lot of horror novels, is just that it's one and done. But I do want to get a taste of her writing, so I picked up The Mummy. They had that, Ramses the Damned, and this is about Ramses. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. But he is now living as Dr. Ramsey, an expert in Egyptology. And he's in a relationship, but he's having, I guess, flashbacks and memories of his reawakening. And he can't get over his love of Cleopatra. So he is going to do something bad, it sounds like, that's going to affect a lot of people. Because dude can't deal with the past. And then I got this one mainly because I loved the cover, and then I realized it was Anne Rice, but this is about witches. But this is actually the second one, is Taltos. But it doesn't seem like I have to read the first one to enjoy this one. This one's about a man who is the last of his kind, the Taltos, but he hears about that there is another Taltos out there, and he runs into these witches. So I'm guessing the first book is just an introduction to the witches, so I don't think I have to read the first one to enjoy this one. I'm hoping, because I kind of just want to read this one. But look at that. Isn't that cool? It's the Wednesday Adam part of my soul. I love the creepiness of this. That being said, I could go from Wednesday Addams to Lizzie McGuire in 5.82 seconds, because I got this next. This is The Scott, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Annette Blair. But I love that cover. And this is about, long ago, Rory, a Scottish ancestor, lost the bewitching woman he loved and regretted it forever. Before he died, he sent her his greatest work of art, a beautifully carved unicorn. as a token of his eternal devotion. Now Rory is determined to reclaim the unicorn and restore his clan to glory. And then she is Victoria, has inherited the key to the mysterious wardrobe in the family attic. Legend says that only the girl who possesses the magic of her ancestor can reveal the treasure within. But Vicky refuses to believe she's any sort of enchantress. So I'm guessing she opens the wardrobe, and then the unicorn makes her dreams come true, until the handsome Rory shows up with his own plans for the unicorn and for Vicky. Okay, we are now winding down to the grand finale. I don't have that many more left. And these are my vintage horror classics that I found. I was so excited to find some. I just love these covers and stuff. Most of these are 80s, but some are 90s. So this is Devil's Gate by Elizabeth Argos. This is a pinnacle horror, but I love the embossing on this. And like I said, a lot of these I didn't read what they were about because I wanted. The thing about 80s horror novels is they're like 80s horror movies. Even if they're bad, there's a goodness about them because you can laugh at them. So, but this one, it says, a bargain with the devil plunged this greedy little town into a hellish nightmare. Ooh, so it sounds like it has a curse in it, so I'm excited for that. Deadly Friend by Keith Ferrario. This is BMI horror. A friend in need is a fiend indeed. And I do remember, I did read the back of this one. This one's basically about a boy who is dead and he is looking for a playmate. And you don't really want him to want to be your friend. And this one, Lucifer's Eye by Hugh Cave. Tor. Evil stirs in the heart of paradise. Oh, I know why I got this one. So just so you know, I have a weakness in horror for fog, mist, mazes. Number one is haunted houses. I love haunted house horrors. But I started to read the back, but right when I got to a crime wave is sweeping the villages and a mysterious green fog is terrifying natives on the mountain pass. I picked it up because I'm like, okay, you have to do with fog. And then I got, this is Pinnacle Horror. Only one woman could fulfill the ancient savage evil's destiny. The Spirit Stalker by Nina Romberg. Unearthed by Ashley McConnell. Beneath the earth it sleeps, upon your soul it feeds. And this one has like the embossed unearthed, like you could kind of feel it and stuff. Ooh, look at this cover. Death Song by Jack Scaparo. This is Zebra. Oh, and this one actually sounds, this one has an ancient curse. They cut his hands off because they thought he was the devil. How else could he play the piano without ever taking a lesson? As they threw his mangled body over the cliffs into the boiling sea, he uttered a curse. Death to every one of the descendants of his murderers. And then, of course, years later, a woman moves there, and her child, her daughter, begins to play the piano without ever taking a lesson. But I love that cover. Next, I have Family Closets by Marjorie Dorner. This is Pinnacle. And this one is basically about a girl who the police have summoned her back home, and she doesn't want to go back home, but they found a body in the attic, I believe. Oh, in the cellar. It turns out to be her uncle, and now she's being stalked. It seems like someone doesn't want her to figure out what happened. She has some family secrets going on. And then I got Robert McCammon's Ball. In the flames of lust and madness, the demon prince bestrides the earth. I like that cover. All right, and then for my grand finale, this is the book that I was very happy to find because I had been on the hunt for it in this cover, and that's Stephen King's Needful Things. I prefer the older covers. And I think most people know what this is about. The man who opens up a shop, and you could go in and ask, you know, you get whatever you want, but it might come at a certain price. I haven't read it yet, but I definitely want to. It sounds really, really cool. All right, so that's it for my wrap-up. I ended up spending $40 on all of those, which is still a good deal. Like, the fact that I found all those vintage horror and my Stephen King book and the Star Trek books. I got some Wishbone in my life now. I am good. I don't know which one I want to read next. I need to get to reading. Which one do you want to read? He wants to read the Star Trek one that has the Halloween in it. There you go. All right, so Steve's going to read that. And I don't know what I'm going to read next, but now at least I have my fire back. And I'm glad to be back. Thank you for joining me. I hope you'll have a good day, and don't forget to like and subscribe. All right. Have a good one. Bye.